Thanks for joining us for another day of mobility. If you haven't already, get yourself nice and comfy, flat on your back. Take a couple of nice, deep, relaxing breaths. Letting go of any stress, any tension, anything that's been weighing you down lately. Just let it go. None of that matters for this next 20 minutes. Let's just chill and get ready for some me time. And we'll start to slowly shape that breath into a nice relaxing rhythm and pace and shape. Directing that air deep into that diaphragm and slowly letting it go through your nose. And with each passing breath, try to find yourself more relaxed, more free of tension, more free of stress, and just into a generally happier state. And we'll take a quick scan from head to toe, just one breath at a time. Feel yourself get nice and passive. Relaxing through your head, your face, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your back, your hips, your legs, and your feet. Just feel your whole body sink heavy into your mat. And we'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly let go of that breath. We're going to start today's routine on the left T-spine. So grabbing that lacrosse ball and searching through the left side of your spine along those muscles that sit just to the left of your spine, some rhomboids, a little bit of traps. Just feel out what needs attention. And once you've found a good area, let that be your focus. And then feel out what kind of tension and stimulus we need today. You might find rolling on that ball helpful. You might find lying still more helpful. You may find reaching overhead more helpful. These are all options. Feel free to do some experimenting and feel out what your body needs today and what's going to benefit you the most. And then try to sync that target area to your breath. As your lungs let go of air, just imagine that tension through that mid-back all sifting away with your exhale. We'll take one more breath here. Take a time sighing out that breath. And we'll shift into the right side. Let's start with a quick search. You may find this right side is tight in the same areas, or it might need a total different stimulus. Just feel out what you need today. Once you've found that area, settle into the right pressure, the right angle we're leaning, the right posture. Working within your pain-free limits with just enough pressure to get an effect today. And remember, this is your unique routine. What you're doing might differ from the video, and that's totally fine. Just settle into whatever stimulus you need today. And every chance we get, circling back to your breath. Nice relaxing rhythm and pace and shape of breath. And every time we exhale, challenging yourself to turn new muscle off. Just getting nice and relaxed and passive everywhere you can think of. One more breath here. We'll slowly let go of that breath We'll grab your massage gun and we'll start working through that pec. If you don't have a massage gun, you can use a lacrosse ball. We're going to demo with the massage gun today. Start by searching around that whole pec surface. Feel out what needs attention. You might find tension in around the anterior delt, near the sternum, near your clavicle. Might be near the armpit. We find it's helpful sometimes to relieve your pecs while you're in an overhead position. These are all just options to choose from. Your job is to pick the options that are going to benefit you the most. Let's take one more breath here. As we exhale, we'll switch to the right side. Panning through this right pec with either your massage gun or your lacrosse ball, feeling out what needs attention today. Finding whatever position feels right for you today. Might be a position you struggle with. You struggle with overhead. Keeping your arm into an overhead position while we work on those pecs can help give you that relief in the position of restriction. There really are no hard rules. There's just concepts. There's just options to choose from. And feel free to choose whatever is going to work best for you today, physically and mentally. And we'll take one more breath here. And as we exhale, we'll shift back to the left side and start on some serratus work. Your serratus muscle lives basically on the front side of your ribs, close to that armpit, just below the armpit. And if you're not super in tune with your anatomy, don't stress. Just search through that area and feel out what needs attention. Just be conscious to not be working specifically on the bone. Try to find some soft tissue in between those bony segments that need attention. And this is a sneaky area that can really restrict your overhead position. So it can be really useful to reach that arm overhead while we're working on that serratus area. Doing your best to sync this target area with your breath. As you exhale, feel that tension in that serratus area just float away. Let's take one more breath. As we exhale, we'll switch to the right side. So again, demoing with the massage gun. If you don't have a massage gun, feel free to use your fingers or a lacrosse ball or an equivalent. And just search through this side. Feel out what needs attention. And if you're working with the massage gun, you don't need a lot of pressure. Just let that rhythm and pressure the massage gun's applying do its work for you. Settle into whatever level of pressure and tension feels right for today. If you're new to a massage gun, err on the side of going nice and easy until you get a better sense of how your body's responding. I'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll transition into your upper traps with this massage gun or lacrosse ball if you don't have a gun. So working the top side of your traps on the left, feeling out what areas need the most attention. And once you've found your area of interest, settle into the right pressure, the right posture. Feel free to move your shoulder into positions that you tend to struggle with. And once you're there, concentrating on getting passive everywhere you can. There's obviously muscles we need to do the exercise. Any outside muscles that we don't need, just let them go. Let's take a breath here. As you exhale, we'll switch to the right side. Working through the top side of that trap on the right side with the massage gun if you got one. Otherwise, using a lacrosse ball in a door frame or using your fingertips. And then every chance we get, circling back to your breath. Nice relaxing pace, rhythm, and shape of breath. It helps you find calm. And let that mental calmness work its way through your whole body. And we'll take one more breath here. And as we sigh out that breath, we'll shift our focus into a left thread the needle. So we'll set your gun or your lacrosse ball off to the side from tabletop, reaching your left arm through your right arm and your right knee. And our focus here is stretching through that mid-back. So really try to reach your left shoulder as far through the eye of the needle, so to speak. And this is a sneaky stretch. You should not feel much here. If you're feeling any pain, discomfort, just ease off. The idea is just getting a bit of a rotation stretch through that mid-back. You'll get a slight shoulder stretch as well, but the main focus is on a rotation stretch for your thoracic spine. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active by putting some pressure on that shoulder and attempting to rotate out of the stretch. And let's go ahead. Starting with nice, easy tension. Attempting to pull that left shoulder back over to your left side, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here to finish. 3, 2, 1, and let's gently reverse. Trying to rotate that left shoulder further through into that stretch. Ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with the big squeeze here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's get nice and passive. Just submit to the stretch. Focusing back on your breath. Nice relaxing rhythm, pace, and shape of breath. Mentally go into your happy place. Quick mental scan of any muscles that are on, especially in that mid-back area. Try to get as passive as you can. One more breath here. We'll slowly exhale, and we'll transition into the right side. So from tabletop, reaching that right arm through. Feeling for that stretch in that mid-back. Working well within your pain-free limits. Should be a nice, subtle stretch. Feel good. Be zero pain. Find a position where you feel like you can almost fall asleep in the position. Nice diaphragmatic breathing. Directing that air deep into that diaphragm. And exhaling through the nose if you can. And in a 10 count, we'll gently get active by attempting to rotate this right shoulder back through to the original side. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension, pushing that shoulder into the floor, rotating towards your right, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here to finish. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Try to rotate that right shoulder back through, deeper into the stretch, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze here. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's get nice and passive. Just submit to that position. Concentrate on your breath. Mentally scanning through any tension around your body. Get as passive as you possibly can. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And take your time sighing out that breath. We'll grab a PVC pipe and do some seated overhead twist and bend. So grabbing your pipe with your arms at about a 45-degree angle overhead, we're just going to rotate as far as we can to the left. When you feel like you've hit the end, try to bend as far as you can to the left. Just a lateral bend in that same direction, and then back to your right. Repeating to the right, rotating as far as we can, bending as far as we can, and continue at your own pace. And with each rep, try to rotate and bend a little further into the stretch. It can be helpful when you feel like you've hit the end to just give a subtle push further in to attempt to carve out new range. Let's give a good squeeze here for this last rep. And we'll slowly exhale that breath. We'll set that pipe down. Let's come back to the mat into a COBRA stretch. So face down, and just press yourself up in a partial push-up. Feeling for a stretch through that core, through the hip flexors. Settling into a nice pain-free position. If there's any pinchiness in that low back, just ease up. You need to go wider with your palms or drop to your elbows. Just feel out whatever version of this stretch your body's okay with today. And once we're there, focusing back on the breath, nice and passive through that core in your trunk. And in a 10 count, we'll attempt to reverse this stretch by attempting to crunch your ribs down towards the floor. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy, activating through your abs to try to pull your torso down out of the stretch, ramping up tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Attempting to squeeze yourself deeper into that stretch using your back muscles. Ramping up that tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Cement into your basic COBRA. You may find you're deeper in the position of stretch, and if not, that's okay. But if you are, that's great. Wherever you're at, just continue to trust the process. We'll get there when your body's ready for it. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll move into some shoulder circles on this left side. So do this either from kneeling or standing. And just slowly and deliberately moving your shoulders through the range of motion. Really making yourself work between the overhead and when you're reaching behind you. If you're doing this right, you should really feel strain through those shoulders. Pain-free, but should feel like you're doing work. Generally, the harder we work here, the bigger benefit we get. Ramping up that tension as we go. Where you feel most restricted, give yourself the most amount of attention. Attempting to carve out new range of motion. Let's give a good squeeze here for these last 5. We'll exhale and we'll switch to the right side. Start with a giant circle with this right side, starting with relatively easy tension. And with each progressive circle, pressing a little further into those corners. Making yourself work a tiny bit harder as we work our way through this minute. And again, wherever you feel most restricted, most stiff, really give yourself a good squeeze. Being conscious to work within your pain-free limits. But make yourself work. Give yourself a good, healthy challenge here. These last 10, let's really give some good force into those corners, especially those sticky points. And we'll we'll finish off this last rep. We'll take one more deep, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath, and we'll call it a day. Thanks for joining us here for some 5-pillar mobility. Hope you enjoyed the routine. If you did, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.